Hey, what's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduel, here to bring you guys another episode of Hidden Trumps. And the card we're going to talk about today is Vanity's Emptiness. And Vanity's Emptiness is super cool. It's a card I saw from an OCG video. It's basically Christia. And it's a continuous trap card, and neither player can special summon monsters. Destroy this card when a card is sent from the deck or the field to your graveyard. So that's really awesome because it has no activation cost and it's basically a Christia effect. And I want to say it's pretty good in specific decks only, but in these specific decks it can get absolutely broken. And the decks that I want to talk about today are Six Samurais, Dino Rabbit, Incarnate Dragons, and maybe Inzectors. I think there's some possibility in Inzectors too. Okay, so for Six Samurais, what do Six Samurai players do first turn? They first turn go special summon Six Samurai Shien, and they special summon something like a Kageki, or they special, sorry, not Kageki, Kizan, or they special summon a Grandmaster of the Six Samurai, and after that they just end their turn, set their whole hand. And yeah, why don't you set Vanity's Emptiness? Because when it's your opponent's turn, when their standby phase rolls around, then you can just activate Vanity's Emptiness. Now those plays like a Dragosack, or the plays like a Big Eye in order to try to steal your Six Samurai Shien, the cards that are the bane of your existence as a Six Samurai player, they can't play that anymore. They can't special summon. And if they try to like Dark Hole, Six Samurai Shien says no, negate it. If they try to MST, Six Samurai Shien says no, negate it. There's like, at least they need to waste at least 2 cards in order to get rid of your Vanity's Emptiness. And you have Six Samurai Shien on the board, you don't really need to special summon anymore. And you can just every turn drop another Kizan, every turn you can drop another Kageki, and their attacks are pretty sizable, 1,700, 1,800. Kizan can actually get more attack when they have more Six Samurais on the board. Every turn you can just trample them, you can just keep adding pressure onto the board, and your opponent who's playing something like, Mermails, playing something like Incarnate Dragons, they can't normal summon much that can like overrun you, and basically you just win from there. So Vanity's Emptiness, definitely good in Six Samurais. Vanity's Emptiness is also good in Dino Rabbit for 2 reasons. First of all, Logia has the negation effects, and you go first turn Logia with Rabbit, and basically you can just sit on the Rabbit. So you can sit on the Logia, and you can just negate things that you don't want happen, and every turn you can normal summon a Sabersaurus, you can normal summon a Kabazul, you can normal summon a Guaiba, and you can just keep pushing for damage. And what's more broken in Dino Rabbit is they run Macros Cosmos. And with Macros Cosmos, no cards are sent from the field, or the deck, or the hand to the graveyard. So Vanity's Emptiness basically cannot be destroyed by its own effect while you have Macros Cosmos. The only out is if he uses MST on your Macros Cosmos gets sent to the graveyard, and then Vanity's Emptiness dies. But other than that, even if your monsters died from the field and they get sent to the graveyard, they don't get sent to the graveyard because you have Macros Cosmos. And if you have that, then they still can't special summon. They still can't get rid of Vanity's Emptiness. So it's going to be broken in Dino Rabbit, and it's also very broken in Incarnate Dragons. And you might not think so, but it's really cool because first turn you can of course go for Dragosack, you spend your hand and you get a Phantom Beast playing Dragosack on the field, and you use this effect, you get 2 tokens. Alright, and then you set Vanity's Emptiness. So when your opponent's turn rolls around, standby phase, activate Vanity's Emptiness. What do? If they try to use Dark Hole, you have Dragosack, and Dragosack cannot be destroyed as long as you have tokens. Sure, the tokens will get destroyed, but you still have a 2,600 attack beater, and your opponent's not going. Your opponent just burned a Dark Hole on you. Sure, they can try to MST the Vanity's Emptiness. Well, if they have that, that's broken. But other than that, every turn when it's your turn, you can use Dragosack's effect. You can tribute a token. The token doesn't go to the graveyard when it's tributed, and you can destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. You can just keep doing that until you run out of tokens. And every time you detach material from Dragosack, it doesn't count as having a card from the field sent to the graveyard. That's why Sangan's effect does not activate when it's an Exceed material. So the requirements for the destroying of Vanity's Emptiness is not fulfilled. Vanity's Emptiness stays on the field. Now, when it's your turn, you want to special summon because you're Incarnate Dragons and you've accumulated a handful of Incarnate Dragons, and you have those baby dragons that'll summon Incarnate Dragons from the deck. What you can do is use Dragosack's own effect. Tribute itself because it's a Mecha Phantom Beast monster, and you can destroy one card on your opponent's side of the field. But when the Draco Sack gets tributed, it gets sent to the graveyard from the field. Vanity's Emptiness gets destroyed. You destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. Now it's your green light to just special summon all of your Redox, all of your Tempest, all of your other Incarnate Dragons, and just push for game. That's just broken in Incarnate Dragons. Okay, and the last deck I think it will be broken in is Inzectors. Hear me out. I know Inzectors special summon, but Inzectors, in order for them to blow up, they need to have Hornet in the graveyard. When that happens, something had to be sent to the graveyard. Now, if Hornet's in the graveyard already, you can normal summon Dragonfly. Dragonfly's effect, equip Hornet, use Hornet's effect, sending itself to the graveyard. Vanity's Emptiness gets destroyed immediately. And your Dragonfly's effect can still activate. You can still summon this Centipede, and you can keep going off. And that's really cool. Really good for the Inzector deck, because the Inzector deck is going to be a bit slow because it requires a little bit of time to set up. But while you're setting up your graveyard, while you're setting up and drawing into Hornet, drawing into Dragonfly, you don't want them to kill you by OTKing you. You play Vanity's Emptiness, it locks down, it limits what your opponent can do, and when it's your turn, it does not hinder you from going off at all.